I'm Marlene and welcome to my home and garden channel. In today's video, you're going to be seeing plants that are on sale at Walmart. You'll see the early bird prices. You're going to see fruit trees, flowers, veggies, herbs, tools and supplies, all the things that you will need to get your spring garden going. And you'll also see
what I got.
So let's go ahead and start off first with one of my favorite things, and that would be the flowers. Over here, they have some beautiful pansies on the outer circle here. And in the center, they have cyclamen. And cyclamen, they are perennials. So if you plant them in a partly shaded area, then they're going to be lasting year after year. They'll go down for the winter, and then they'll come right back up and last year after year. The pansies, you can see that all of these were for $7.88. The pansies, they are annuals, but as you can see, they have quite a few of them in the container. So what you could do is you can divide them out. You can use them in your flower beds, your containers, whatever you like. And these are going to last you right up until June, usually around June. They'll hold up until then. So that way they'll give a pop of color early in the spring before your other plants come up. And this is what I love here. These are violas, a slightly smaller version to the pansies. And you can see that these have even more roots in them, and they were for $4.97. And they had so many different colors, different combinations that you can put in your garden or your containers for your porch just to beautify it. I just love that color. It's just so pretty how they come together. So whatever you choose, whatever your fancy, there's something here for you. And, it just works out so well to tide you over until all the other plants come up. And if you choose some that have, a lot of them are on open flowers, that makes it even better for you. Isn't that white one so pretty? I just think they're so gorgeous. Next, they had dianthus, and I love dianthus. These are some very large ones right here. And the prices were pretty good. You can see they have different combinations of there. So whatever your color scheme is, you can find something that works for you. These are perennials, so they come up every year and they spread a lot. So, you can use them that way and they'll be beautiful for you. When the flowers fade, the leaves are still lush and green right throughout the season. So they'll be fine. And over here, I'm just showing you that you can even use them like in just a container, without having them mat over to cover a particular area. And I just love these ones here. They're so gorgeous. I had them in this blue container here, and I thought they were so beautiful. I kept them for a few years, and then I put them out to just, be ground cover somewhere else. And these are some beautiful daffodils here. So let's say you didn't plant your daffodils on time in the fall. Well, not to worry. As you know, they do need to have that cold season before they bloom for you. But these were already put through that process of dormancy in the cold, and they're coming up now. So if you get these and you put them in your garden, then you will have daffodils blooming. And what I like about them, the price is pretty good, $1.97. And you can divide these out because you can see they have usually about 6 of them in each container. So you can plant those out. When they bloom and they dry down, you'll have them for years to come. You can't beat that. Over here, this is Stachys. And this one was for $6.88, also called lamb's ear. Most people know it by that name. And this is one that also spreads. And they're just so beautiful. You have them coming back year after year. And they hold up fairly well in the colder weather unless you're in a really, harsh winter climate. And just to show you by scale how large they were, look at the leaves, guys. Beautiful. It's just like velvet. Now let's go on to some of the flowering trees. Dogwood, one of my favorites. I don't have one. I wish I did. But they're absolutely wonderful. I love them. You can see that they have the white ones there, and they also have the pink ones. And these are basically mid-sized trees. So they work out really well if you don't want to have a tree that's too large for your home, for your garden. I just love them. The pink ones, white ones, whichever. They're just all so beautiful when you see them in the spring. And this right here is Japanese maple. So if you wanted a tree that was smaller, this one is $39.97. But honestly, this is a very expensive plant, and you can see why. It's very exotic. And it's not too hard to care for, and it gives you interest in the fall with those beautiful colors. When it's green, it looks just as beautiful. Over here now we have, this one is called Redbud, Eastern Redbud, another mid-sized tree, great for your landscape. It's nice and green in the summertime, and those pretty pink blooms come out in the winter. And then over here now we have fruit trees, and this is plum right here. This is a lighter color of plum. And you can see that it also not only provides you with food, but beautiful flowers in the early springtime. So it's doing double duty right there. And this is the perfect time to plant these when they're flowering, or when you see like the new leaves are coming out. Look at this, guys. Isn't this pretty? And I didn't smell them, but I'm almost 100% sure that they have a nice smell. And $29.74, it's a good investment because this is a tree that's going to be giving you fruits and it's going to be there year after year. They also had some peaches. That's the white one right there. And they also have some of the more peachy color ones. They had figs as well too. And all of these are going for the same price that you saw there just now. And I just think it's a really good investment. And you can see the leaves on there, so you know that they're basically coming up out of that dormancy stage. So you kind of need to get them, in the ground as soon as possible. And this is plum, the darker coated one there. So that's another option as well. And look at those blossoms, guys. Aren't they beautiful? It just makes you think so much of the springtime. I just love seeing them. And we have some other color ones over here as well too. So this is good to, establish in your yard. And as the years go by, it gets bigger and bigger and gives you more fruit. Now they had like peppers and tomatoes. But for me personally, I am in zone 8. So I think it's a little bit early for these. So I personally would not recommend you buying these just yet. I would say wait until at least mid-April before you get those. The mint might be a little bit more sturdy, and the celery and all these other ones here. And these were in flats, like 6-pack. So those prices were not too bad for these here. They had strawberries right there and different types of mints here, like peppermint. They had Italian oregano, and you already know, guys, that I've been using my hydroponic system to grow my herbs indoors for right now. So this was, nice to see. But again, I typically recommend just planting your herbs from seed. You can start them indoors or, as soon as you're able to outdoors, to save yourself money. But these options are available if you needed them. And just to say that if you like flowers, you like gardening, you like growing things to eat in your yard, be sure to hit the subscribe button and tap on the notification bell for future tips and topics, and just journey along together and grow together. I so appreciate each and every one of you for doing that. Next, we come to our berries, and these would be blackberries. And they also had some grapes here as well. And I just love that sign, non-GMO. That's a beautiful thing to me. And look at this, guys. They are doing so well. You can see all the leaves that are coming out right there. This is about to start running really soon. So if you're ready to get something like this, I would say definitely go for it. You can see the price, $6.97. You can't beat that. This is something that's a perennial. It comes back year after year. It goes down in the winter and it comes right back up, as the weather warms up. And, you'll have it there. You can see how beautiful those are. And the blueberries, I'm thinking I'm probably going to get one of these this year because blueberries are so extra especially good for you. I just love them. And you can see signs of life right there, a little bud coming out. So I like seeing that when I'm going to be choosing my plants. They're just coming out of dormancy. So it's a good time to start planting them, in early spring. Love blueberries. And they also had some raspberries as well. So you can see it's the same price here again, $6.97. So now it's time to look at the flowers that they had the roots for. These are peonies, and I have my eye on getting some peonies. There are different colors that they had here, and you can see how they are there. This one is the white one, so choices. I'm going to have to choose one, so you'll get to see at the end what I chose. And take a closer look here. We had some pink ones, darker pink, lighter pink, two-toned ones. There are quite, a lot of these that are there, and they're one of the sweetest smelling flowers out there. So if you're thinking of something to get to spruce up your yard, this is a very good one. It's a perennial as well too. Speaking of perennials, over here we have some gladiolas, which I absolutely love. $5.42. And how much is that for? 16 bulbs. And look at all the colors that they have. You could choose whatever kind you like. And this is not sponsored, by the way. I just happened to be passing through and I saw them and I thought, let me go ahead and just show you what they had so you can make decisions on what might work for you. Over here, for the same price, they had elephant ears, just one bulb though, because these are very, very large plants. And of course, they die back in the winter and then they come back up in the spring. You always want to make sure you choose a healthy looking one and, you get it going in your yard. And typically, just one or two of these will be enough to, spread out over a very large area. So definitely recommended. And over here for $5.42, once again, they had 3 bulbs, and these are actually begonias, but these are the tuberous begonias. They're not the wax begonias, which I've covered in previous videos. So you can see it's in the soil right there, and you just take them and you get them going. And, they're just wonderful plants. They're kind of tender though, so you will have to kind of take them up if you're in a colder area and plant them back in the spring. but definitely worth the effort. And over here we have beautiful clematis. Isn't this gorgeous? I just absolutely love it. It's a trailing vine, and it comes back year after year. It rests down in the winter and then comes back up again. It's absolutely beautiful. I have a purple pink one and I love it. I'm going to be doing a future video on clematis vines as well, so be sure to stay tuned for that, to care for that lovely plant. All right, so next we're going to go ahead and take a look to see what else we have here. So they also had daylilies, by the way, 3 roots for those as well too. So over here now we have hydrangea. This one is called PG Pink. My hydrangea is blue. And I love it. But look at this. This looks so healthy, and this is exactly how I bought mine. I've had it for so many years, and it was actually from a Walmart, not from this one. And it could have been from any other store, but Walmart is the one we're looking at today. And of course, there's Japanese snowball. I just love seeing these in the spring. They look just like snowballs. They absolutely do, and they can grow to, sometimes I've seen them even as high as 10 feet tall. They're so beautiful. I highly recommend getting one of them. If I had more space, I would get one too. And over here we have forsythia. This is one of the first shrubs that you'll see blooming in the winter to early spring, and they look so healthy over here. So, definitely a good choice, I would say. And they can stand the cold weather. So as long as the ground isn't frozen over where you are, you can go ahead and get one of these and plant it. They also had wisteria. One thing I'll say, that this plant can be a little bit aggressive. So, just bear in mind it's going to spread a lot if you get it. So make sure you have some space. The same is true for trumpet vine. Trumpet vine, it attracts hummingbirds. So I love that about it. But at the same time, it can be a little bit aggressive in its growth. So make sure you have, maybe like a tree you can have it run up on, or maybe like an arbor or something like that, like large trellises that it can go over, because it really will run, and it might even try to take over that space. So just bear those things in mind. But it really is a beautiful plant. And now let's go ahead and take a look at the other ones over here. We had the bell peppers and the tomatoes. And like I was saying before, definitely go ahead and just, plant your seeds if you can, because this is a little early in the season for me, I'm thinking. So I would not recommend getting those yet. But if it's warm enough where you are, go for it if you don't mind paying that price. So now we go on inside and we take a look at the seeds, since I was mentioning seeds a few minutes ago. You can see that they have a lot of them here. And these are, some nice looking packages here. And they are organics, it says. And you also have the herb seeds over here, which I love. I just figured that's the easier way to do it, more inexpensive to get started. But the prices were a little bit more than getting them at the dollar store. A dollar store usually has like 4 for $12. So if you can go there and get it, I would say go for it. And of course, you'll need to have supplies, little tools and equipment for your yard. For your garden. They had tie wraps. Those are so important for things like your vines, like your tomatoes and all the other things like the trellises and all those other things that you would need. Water meter, very important, because you want to make sure that your soil isn't drying out too much, especially in the container gardens. I thought that was a little bit high, so I prefer to get tomato cages and using those. And they also had these little pots here where you can plant your seedlings and then transplant them over. And speaking of pots, this was a very large one. I thought it's maybe about 8 gallons or so. So it was for $30.98. But I thought if you wanted to maybe put a small tree in there, this would be perfect for that. And it is very, very beautiful. This one was $7.98. And this was maybe about 5 gallons. Pretty decent size. There's so much you can do with these, and it has depth. So you could plant something maybe like potatoes, something that grows further down like carrots or something like that, and of course beautiful flowers for this blue one right here. Just, that's similar to the one I have.
So guys, I am so super excited to show you what I got. The first one is this. This would be the roots for my peony. Look at this, guys. Isn't it gorgeous? And I'm going to be doing a separate video showing you all about peonies and how I planted this one. So make sure that you stay tuned for that. The next thing is this here. And this is a self-watering seed starting system. And I'm also going to be doing an upcoming video about that as well. And you can see how it is there. It has all the different parts that you need. The parts to put in your seeds, the tray, and all of that. And this was just $5, so pretty inexpensive for all the seeds that we can get. Just take a look at that. It says 72 cells. So it's a lot of them. So I'm so looking forward to that. And I have these and many, many more seeds. Let me show you some of those. We have tons of seeds right here. So we'll take a look at all of those in future videos. These are some tomato seeds that I had right here, some pumpkin seed for a pumpkin that I liked, and many others that are here, including my pollinator garden. Also, we have some of these as well. I'm not sure if I'll use them this season, but they're not gonna spoil. You know, they won't go bad. So you can see these are the peat. They're like Jiffy strips, so you can use those. And this one has 50 cells in it. So that's another one again. And you know, they're gonna keep, so I'm gonna, you know, if I don't use them this season, I certainly will eventually. And here's another one again. And it shows tomatoes, but you can use tomatoes or, you know, like cucumbers or whatever else you might want to use.
So if it's still cold in your area, not ready to start putting stuff out, at least start with the planning, you know, take a look at what's available so you can make, you know, decisions on what you want. And be sure to stay tuned for when I do the upcoming videos covering all of these wonderful things that we're going to be putting out to make our garden spectacular and to provide lots of food for us to eat as well. So stick around for that. I thank you so much for stopping by today. Remember to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I do hope to see you in the next video. Take care.